Alrighty, guys. It's what is it? It's almost midnight on Saturday night here in Brisbane, Australia. And to be honest, I'm knackered. I wanted to make one more breakdown video, but to be honest, I don't have the energy. Been a long day. So I just thought I'd do one of these reflective videos instead. I don't know if you can see the bags under my eyes. I need to sleep. Excuse me. But anyway, what I thought I'd reflect on is I had a bit of a chat with a number of people today. One of them was Matt Mask. One of them was Bart Wood. And those things aside, the conversations that flowed today with a number of different people. I spoke to Uncle John. Anyway, I spoke to a few people. The conversations that flowed and the thoughts that sort of developed after having those conversations largely focused around where things are at in WAL, aspirations against various pullers from the WAL potentially. Forgive me, I need to sit down. Aspirations against them. And I think that the WAL, don't quote me, I think they're trying to push for a late 2021 season of some sorts. They're certainly around. They're certainly still around. I know I've spoken over the last couple of months, received emails from them, spoken to them directly as well, and they certainly are in a good position. Let's just say that. But no dates, nothing, no seasons confirmed to me anyway. But I was thinking about the WAL middleweight division, which is historically 200 pounds, and which for me, like, I'm 95.7 kilos now, which is like 211 to 12 pounds or something like that. So it's within range for me, the 200 pounds. I hate having to do it. I'm not a fan of dehydrating at all, but I would do it, of course. Anyway, thinking about, sorry, you can probably tell how tired I am. This video, I'm probably waffling way too much, but anyway. Thinking about the WAL middleweight category, I feel like if and when this season kicks off, it's going to be a dogfight. I think there's a lot of people right there. I expect to see some new names, some new faces in that mix. And I think that it's not going to be an easy road. I think that the WAL want to come back. Now, of course, we're talking about when COVID restrictions are not blocking international people from getting there. But I think that the WAL wants to have better pathways, bigger numbers, more athletes, and make it more competitive to get to that hammer shot. So I think that the middleweight category is going to be an absolute bloodbath. Straight away, we know there's Rob, obviously, sitting at the top of the tree at the moment. There's always the ever-looming threat of Todd Hutchins returning. But we've got even Jordan Sill. He's big right now. I don't think he could get down to 200 pounds right now. I don't know if he wants to. But anyway, Jordan Sill, potentially. You've got Storm Chelino, of course. You've got Paul Lynn, of course. You've got Justin Bishop. These are guys that are right there. We know Justin had his crack. I think Paul Lynn's probably next. Storm has had his crack a couple of times, so he's probably not going to go next. But anyway, then you've got the people that we haven't seen in a while, the Frodo Hoaglands, the Nicholas Nanistads, the Mike Solaris, these types. There's heaps. there's heaps. And oh my goodness, I just think that when we get to the point of actually finally working out who's who, it's gonna be a deep and thick contest. It's gonna be hard. When I think about my style of arm wrestling now, it's kind of changed since I faced Alan. Where when I faced Alan, I was, I guess, more of a defensive top roller. I have more of an offensive drive at the beginning now, and I have a hook as well that I have a lot more confidence in than I ever used to. So I think that I'm a very different arm wrestler in a lot of shapes. When I think about the styles of all the... Craig Tullier. The return of Craig Tullier. Can't forget him. Dan Mosier. I don't know if we're going to see him feature. Hopefully. It's just... It's deep. BLM. Obviously, I was meant to face BLM. Brent Rackers. I don't know. Jason Merlo. There's so many people who could slot in and immediately make the WAL middleweight category significantly more difficult. But when I think about style-wise, there's one man that I think is the hardest possible style for me, and it's actually Paul Lin. I'm sure you guys agree that Paul Lin is a monster. His recent tournament performance showed that he's improved significantly in the COVID downtime. He's trained hard, obviously. So Paul is strong. For me, Paul is one of those guys that just stylistically worries me. His back pressure pronation at center is big, and no one wants to lose their wrist against someone with the arm power like Paul. So being in that compromised position is a tough place to be. So you've either got to have the inside drive to get him there, or a mega hand and wrist with some back pressure to accompany it. So Paul for me is one of those matches that I'd actually love to have, because I believe it's stylistically the most difficult for me, and I think it'd grow a lot. There's of course Justin Bishop. The long time story of Justin Bishop will someday be told. I believe it will happen, hopefully in the WAL. Pulling Justin would be amazing, and it's something that I've wanted to do since my first opportunity with Justin here in 2017 here in Brisbane, just around the corner actually. A couple 100 meters away was where it happened. And that's a possibility that I'd love. I think about people like Mike Saliaris. I would love to pull Mike. Mike's someone who is so crafty. He's been around for so long. He's got such a big hand, and he will maneuver to weird positions, and I'd like to experience that. Frodo Hoagland, I'd love to experience just his never say die side pressure. Kind of like a Todd Hutchins, with his own variations. I'd like to pull him, see what happens. Same with Nicholas Nanestad. I'd like to pull him just to see how on earth I can handle those long levers. Would I top roll? Would I try to force a hook? Would I stay middle ground and flat hand? There's a lot of questions I'd like to have answered with Nicholas that could be possible. Storm Chelino, I've never gripped Storm Chelino in a training session or anything, but I've touched his hand, and it's interesting, when you touch someone's hand. And when I say I touch his hands, I put a strap on with him in Pittsburgh. I put a strap on, and it was whilst Bart Wood was demonstrating the strap technique that he put on Storm and I. And we didn't pull in any way, shape, or form, but I felt his hand. And I love downloading data, and I could download the data there. And let's just say that I would love a match with Storm. What I felt in that data that I downloaded was excitement that, I'd like this match. So Storm, Quinlan, I'm sure Quinlan would like his revenge on Australia after Danny Tesh beat him. And then he retired. Poor Danny. Don't know what happened. But anyway, Quinlan. Be a good grind, I think. Joel Hudek, be a good grind. I don't think either of those guys would go down quickly against me at all. It'd be a match. And then there's all the unknown people. There's all the people that Neil Pickup is secretly recruiting in the background and bringing them to the forefront as well. That's kind of an exciting thing. The possibility of killers from Europe. That really shakes things up in the WAL. And I think a lot of the fans would like to see it, given that Igor has talked about WAL not being sport but being entertainment. I'd like to see some of those Europeans in the middleweight division. But anyway, all this thought and speculation, I don't know. It's like I said, this is just me winding up the night after a long day of videos and editing and looking after kids and whatnot. So rather than make another breakdown, I figured this was a good way to end it. Anyway, guys, I will leave it there. Thank you to everyone for the support and the channel. Recent weeks, we're really doing well. I hope you guys are enjoying the breakdown content. It's my favorite content to create, and it's getting some really good traction and growth. So I think it's gonna be here to stay, this version. And I appreciate it. I enjoy all the analysis, yada yada yada. I don't know if you guys the people that are doing that are going to be able to keep up though, with the amount of random analysis videos or review videos, breakdown videos, whatever you want to call them, that I'm pumping out. But anyway, guys, thank you. I really do appreciate you here. If you're here now watching this part of the video up to this point, you're obviously one of the really significant supporters of the channel, and I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate that you're here, and that what you're doing allows me to have this as a career. It really is quite special. So it's becoming more and more of a career with every week that goes past, and it's allowing me to reinvest more cash into the sport. So alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you're well. I'm gonna go grab some sleep, and tomorrow, Sunday for me, I'll do a few more breakdowns. So make sure you let me know in the comments what breakdowns you would most like to see, and I'll see if I can get onto it for you. Alright guys, take care.